This week's miracle is titled The Biggest Picnic in the World. Have you ever been in a really big crowd of people? Today, wherever a large number of people gather together in a theme park or at a pop festival, there are lots of vans and stalls and cafes selling fast food. But by the shores of Lake Galilee, there was nothing but rocks and grass. The more Jesus spoke to the people, the more the people turned up to hear him. He spoke like no other preacher they had ever heard. He told them that God loved them and would forgive them their sins. And he healed people who had been blind or deaf or unable to walk since they were born. Soon, wherever Jesus went, a huge crowd of people began to follow him. He was talking to such a crowd one hot and dusty day. When he finished speaking, one of his disciples came to him and said, "Lord, we should tell the people to go away now, so that they can buy food in the nearby villages." But Jesus said, "Why don't we just feed them here?" Now the disciples had counted and knew that there were about 5,000 people sitting on the ground, waiting to see what Jesus would do next. They went among them to see if anyone had brought food, and there was one boy who had a basket with his lunch in it. There were 5 small loaves, each not much bigger than a roll, and 2 little cooked fish. "This is all the food there is, Lord," said the disciples. Jesus took up the basket and blessed the food, giving thanks to God for it. "Take the basket and feed all the people," he said. "All the people?" thought the disciples. "There's hardly enough here to feed one." Still the disciples did as they were told and took the basket to the first row of people. All the people ate as much as they wanted, and yet there was still enough in the basket to feed the next row and the next. So it went on until all 5,000 people had eaten well from 5 small loaves and 2 little fishes, and there was still enough food left to fill 12 baskets.